It's been 5 days since Typhoon U2 devastated the northern Mariana Islands, leaving many without access to drinking water.
Coming up, see how this storm hit close to home for one Ole Miss professor and how he's aiding in the recovery process.
Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Lauren Conley.
And I'm Kassidy Biss.
The U.S. island Saipan is still recovering after being hit by Typhoon U2 last Thursday.
NewsWatch reporter Brianna Bynum joins us with more on what one Ole Miss professor is doing to help. Brianna?
Thanks, guys. Professor Ji-Hoon Hall was raised in Saipan, and right now the island is recovering from Typhoon U2. The storm was so strong the people of Saipan could be without power for months, and Professor Hall is now helping with relief efforts. Typhoon U2 is the strongest storm to hit the U.S. this year, and it caused major damage to the small island of Saipan. Ole Miss professor and Saipan native Ji-Hoon Hall says he wants to make a difference.
The more images we saw, the more people we affected. We're like, we have to do something.
Hall says he noticed there was no direct way for people to donate to help the people of Saipan, so he, along with the help of a friend, created a website where people can directly donate.
So we created u2relief.com, and that actually holds all the information of like who to donate. Because I think some of the issues that happen when these disasters hit is there's a lot of scam and fraud. So there's a lot of people opening up GoFundMe and that may not necessarily be going to the right places.
Along with the U2 Relief website, there is also a U2 Relief Facebook page that the people of Saipan are using to communicate, and Hal says it's great to see how successful it has been in such a short period of time.
We're also providing a Facebook group that we created with that website. And the last time I looked, there was almost 900 people from Saipan. They're all very engaged and working together every day. Although Typhoon U2 caused a lot of damage to Saipan, Hal says the disaster has brought people together and is glad he can help through U2 Relief. It's been kind of inspiring to see that, just to see everybody come together. Like, I don't know a lot of the people because they've left Saipan a long time ago. But we're connecting again, and it's nice to connect back to the island. So far, GoFundMe's on the U2 Relief site have raised over $65,000 and is expected to continue being a positive resource for the people of Saipan. And it's a growing. If you want to help with relief efforts for Saipan, you can visit NewsWatch Ole Miss Facebook page for more information. Lauren, back to you.
Thanks, Brianna. The Oxford Police Department is searching for a suspect of an assault and attempted kidnapping that occurred during the Auburn game weekend. The victim was a woman that was grabbed from behind while on Van Buren Avenue by a white male in a zip-up jacket, light tan Costa ball cap, and an orange shirt. The victim fought off the attacker, then ran to a nearby residence to call 911. The suspect fled the scene, running toward the Ford Center parking lot and leaving in a white car. Crime Stoppers has offered a $5,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest. If you have any information on the suspect, you can contact OPD. Republican Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith says she is up for a debate if there is a Senate runoff. Hyde-Smith was appointed to temporarily succeed Republican Senator Thad Cochran when he resigned in April. She declined to debate Mike Epsy, Chris McDaniel, and Toby Bernard Bartee before next Tuesday's election. If no one wins a majority of the vote, the top two will advance to a November 27th runoff. The winner will serve the remaining 2 years of a Senator Cochran's 6-year Senate term.
There's 1 week until the polls open here in Mississippi, but many candidates in Lafayette County are running unopposed. In 5 of the 7 elections on the upcoming ballot, the incumbent has no opponent. 2 of those campaigns fall under Circuit Court 3, an area which serves Benton, Calhoun, Chickasaw, Lafayette, Marshall, Tippah, and Union counties, where both Place Judge Andrew K. Holworth and Place 3 Judge John A. Gregory are running unopposed. Election Day is next Tuesday. The Ole Miss School of Applied Sciences is now offering a gerontology degree. NewsWatch reporter Annie Mapp tells us what that consists of.
Dr. Teresa Carithers is giving Ole Miss students the chance to major in applied gerontology, a degree that will let students specialize in elder care or prepare for a job in the healthcare field.
It's an extremely important degree program, but it's also a very relevant program for students. Individuals that graduate from the university will be in a decade serving a larger portion of older adults. So the School of Applied Sciences saw that and began to research nationally what was needed and felt that the degree, this foundational degree in applied gerontology, would meet the needs.
The School of Applied Sciences added the gerontology major at the beginning of the semester. Since then, only one student has declared it as his major.
I'll tell people what I'm majoring in, and it's followed by like that, huh? Look, and I'm like, oh, it's the study of aging. There's a lot more to it, but that's the best way I can explain it.
Ross said his love for helping others started by watching his grandfather go through hospice care.
Hospice care had to come in and, just help him be comfortable in his last few days. So, I was like, I like what these people are doing. Maybe I want to do this. I know I want to help people when I'm out of college.
Students with similar passions who are interested in the major can find out more information at the School of Applied Sciences or on their website. Annie Mapp, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
If you want to learn more about this new major, we've posted a link on our Facebook page, NewsWatch Ole Miss, giving you more details about it.
Halloween is tomorrow and the popularity of pet costumes is rising. NewsWatch reporter Madison Scarpino spoke with a local veterinarian about the growing trend.
Halloween costumes for pets are part of the $9 billion Americans will spend on Halloween, according to the National Retail Federation. This year, Ole Miss junior Bevan Winter's dog Cobain is going as Batman.
I got it, put it on him, and I just love to post pictures of him, so I posted a bunch of pictures, and it's kind of for my own amusement.
Winter says Cobain is not bothered by the costume.
He definitely is not the happiest, but he deals with it more than I would say the normal dog.
Although some animals face no issues with wearing Halloween costumes, Dr. Ryan Black of the Animal Clinic of Oxford says there are potential risks.
So normally allergic reactions are going to be your number one problem, whether it's the dyes in the costume or the fabric of the costume.
Black says some dogs can suffer from severe anxiety after being put in a costume.
Generally, a dog that's anxious is either going to pant more or they're just going to act irregular, whether they're hiding, hyperactive. They can all kind of react different ways.
However, there are various ways to prevent health issues with pet costumes.
One, make sure it fits right. Two, you may want to test it out before the Halloween part that you're going to wear it at, because you want to make sure they're going to be comfortable in it.
One other tip, try to wash the costume first. Madison Scarpino, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Some pet reactions to Halloween costumes are not preventable, but testing out the costume on your pet first is the best way to prevent a reaction.
Halloween is near, and the members of one national Panhellenic Council fraternity are giving students the chance to party on campus. NewsWatch reporter Andranita Williams is live outside the Student Union Ballroom with more. Andranita?
Thanks, Kassidy. It is Omega Week, and the members of the Eta Zeta chapter of Omega Psi Phi have a week full of fun events scheduled for students to enjoy.
Earlier today, students walking on Business Row had the opportunity to pay a member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity for a small fee of only $2. The frat will be hosting a series of events in honor of Omega Week. Member Brendan Williams says this week is a moment to show peers a different side of the fraternity.
Omega Week to me means, just putting the buzz out there, more so than the parties and stuff like that. We actually like being a part of the university and being proactive, more as our peers that are a part of the D9.
The money raised from each event will be donated locally. Kevion Taylor serves as the vice president, and he says he is looking forward to giving back.
The most thing that I'm looking forward to is to have the opportunity to donate our proceeds that we're raising to the Oxford Cancer Center and to our local food bank. So of course, we're charging to get into the Halloween party and for Power Q and the date night auction tomorrow night, and a percentage of all the proceeds for the entire week will be donated to the Oxford Cancer Center as well as the Lafayette County Food Bank.
There will be an on-campus Halloween party tomorrow night. Taylor says there are special surprises in store for those who decide to wear costumes.
It is a costume party. We strongly suggest that people come dressed in their costumes. I personally will have on my costume, and we will be giving out $25 gift cards to Walmart to 4 people in the best costumes tomorrow.
The party will be for students only, and Taylor hopes this will lower the chances of violence.
We do not tolerate that type of behavior, so to try to prevent that, we have limited our prospective people to come to the events to only students. So only students will be allowed, and we think that should take care of the problem of potential violence inside of the event.
The party will be held right here in the Student Union Ballroom on tomorrow night. Tickets can be purchased for $10 at the university's box office. Reporting live from the Ole Miss newsroom, Andranita Williams, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Thanks, Andranita. Coming up, find out which part of the 14th Amendment President Trump is vowing to change and how he plans to make it happen.
And Apple unveiled new products today. Stay tuned to see one's eco-friendly update. But first, Gavin Norton has your first look at the current conditions.
And here are your weather headlines for the week. Tomorrow for Halloween, we are going to see some thunderstorms, so you might want to bring a poncho along with your Halloween costume. The humidity is expected to continue to rise throughout the week, but that will fortunately lead way to a clear weekend. If you want to take a look and see what an absolutely clear aerial view of northern Mississippi looks like, there you go, and savor it while you can because rain is coming. More of that coming up next on Storm Watch.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin? I was just gonna drive home. There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving. Like hearing voices? Like your text-to-emoji ratio? Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious. Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Here she comes. I, Krista, take you, Jamie, to be my wife.
When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said she won't be taking you in as a client.
We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to.
President Trump invited congressional leadership on both sides of the aisle to join him and First Lady Melania Trump in Pittsburgh today, as they visit a grieving Pittsburgh where funerals for slain worshipers at the Tree of Life Synagogue are being held. President Trump visiting a grieving community in Pittsburgh today, the same day funerals begin for the 11 victims of Saturday's massacre at the Tree of Life Synagogue. Among those being laid to rest, brothers Cecil and David Rosenthal and Dr. Jerry Rabinowitz.
They were the sweetest, most wonderful people you could know, not an ounce of hate in them whatsoever.
While the community mourns unimaginable loss, some are criticizing the timing of the president's visit.
Please, if it's not too late, put it off a week. Any president that would come in, any president would be a distraction.
Pittsburgh's mayor believes President Trump should wait until after the funerals, so the focus can be on the victims. And
our focus as a city will be on the families and the outreach that they'll need this week and the support that they'll need to get through it. Once we get past that, then I think there's the opportunity for presidential visits.
Community leaders urging everyone, regardless of how they feel about the president's visit, to focus on inclusion.
I turn to all of our elected leaders because hate doesn't know a political party. Hate is not blue, hate is not red, hate is not purple. hate is in all.
The White House also invited top congressional officials to accompany President Trump, but all have declined. The president, along with First Lady Melania Trump, Jared Kushner, and Ivanka Trump, will be visiting a hospital where some of the wounded are still recovering.
Authorities are treating the shooting as a hate crime. The suspect, Robert Bowers, faces 29 federal charges. Bowers could also face the death penalty if convicted.
President Trump says he is looking to make a drastic change to a constitutional right. In a new interview, President Trump says he will end birthright citizenship with an executive order.
It was always told to me that you needed a constitutional amendment.
Right.
Guess
14th
what?
Amendment.
You don't.
You don't.
Number one, you don't need that. Number two,
I mean, that's in dispute.
you could definitely
That's very much in dispute.
Well, you can definitely do it with an act of Congress, but now they're saying I can do it just with an executive order. Now, how ridiculous. We're the only country in the world where a person comes in, has a baby, and the baby is essentially a citizen of the United States for 85 years with all of those benefits. It's ridiculous.
The U.S. is not the only nation in the world that grants birthright citizenship. As of 2015, at least 32 other nations has passed laws granting some form of birthright citizenship. Speaker of the House Paul Ryan says it's unconstitutional for the president to change an amendment with an executive order.
The FBI is investigating the death of notorious Boston gangster James Whitey Burglar after he was murdered in a Virginia prison. An inmate with mafia ties is being investigated. According to the Bureau of Prisons, Bulger was found unresponsive at the U.S. Penitentiary Hazleton in West Virginia. Staff members initiated life-saving measures, but Bulger was ultimately pronounced dead. He was serving life in prison for a long list of crimes, including racketeering and extortion, as well as his role in 11 murders. Bulger was 89 years old. Apple brought its fanfare to Brooklyn, New York today. Unveiling new models to some signature products, CEO Tim Cook announced the release of a new MacBook Air. The MacBook Air has been completely redesigned. It's 25% lighter than the previous version. It has a more responsive keyboard and a sleeker border, and it's made out of recycled aluminum. What's not on the device is the controversial Touch Bar feature. Cook also introduced new versions of the iPad Pro and Mac Mini at the same event. The keynote comes after September's event, where he unveiled several new versions of the iPhone.
This city is already pretty wet, but now 3/4 of Venice, Italy is underwater after the worst flooding in a decade. At least 11 people were killed across the country as over 2 days as a result of heavy rains and high wind. Transport officials closed the water bus system in Venice, except 2 outlying islands because of the emergency flooding. Much of Italy is under alert from flooding from heavy rains. Officials also closed major tourist attractions in Rome, including the Colosseum, early because of the heavy rains. Well, I'm hoping that clears up for them and they're not flooding, and I'm hoping we don't get flooded here with the weather in the next couple days.
Yes, same. Well, the weather is beautiful for the fall, but it continued here in Oxford today.
And coming up, Gavin Norton will let us know if we can expect clear skies for the rest of the week.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that? This one? No. Were you texting and driving again? Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind.
My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
Whoa.
For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
Welcome back to Stormwatch. I'm Gavin Norton. Right now, as mentioned, we do have pleasant weather. It's 77 degrees Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, and no chance of rain for the rest of the day. If we want to go ahead now and take a look at the satellite image, we can see that there is some behavior going on in Mississippi, but none really in the Oxford area just yet. A regional look will tell us that the temperatures are going to remain fairly consistent. We see here in the 70s, and that's not going to change much tomorrow as far as temperatures go as we take a look at that. But what is going to change tomorrow will affect your trick-or-treating activities. If you want to take a look at what tonight's going to look like, we can see it's going to be a pleasant 60 degrees, partly cloudy, and hardly any wind or chance of rain. But as mentioned before, tomorrow is when we're really going to see that weather kick in. We will have evening thunderstorms, and the chance of rain is going to hit 70%, as well as some moderate winds. Now, if we want to take a more extended look, we can see that over the next 5 days, the temperature really isn't going to get out of the 60s very much, and we do have some chance of rain persisting throughout the week. That's back to you.
Thanks, Gavin. Coming up, see how the Ole Miss men's golf team did in their final tournament of the season.
And the NFL trade deadline was today. Did one of your favorite players get traded? Find out next.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I bought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Welcome to Sports Watch. I'm Rebecca Donaldson. The Ole Miss golf team is wrapping up the fall season at their final tournament in Hawaii this week. Due to harsh weather conditions, the Rebels had a tough back 9 rounds on the course yesterday. The team was in 9th place, heading into the final round at just 5 below par. Senior Bo Briggs led the team with 5 under, while Ole Miss senior and second amateur in the world Braden Thornberry finished with a breaking even score. Head coach Chris Malloy said uncharacteristic mistakes were made, and they are hoping to finish strong today. Ole Miss women's basketball player Chandrika Sesson has been named preseason second-team All-SEC for the 2nd season in a row. Sesson is a redshirted senior starting her final season with 1,131 points scored and has played in 99 games during her college career. Sessom is also ranked as the 24th all-time scorer for women's basketball and is on track to rank 13th after this season. Sesson is returning from a knee injury that ended her season early last year, only 7 games into the season. The season opens with a home game against Lemon Owen at Friday, 3 p.m. at the Ole Miss Pavilion. And taking it over to the Diamond, last year's Ole Miss baseball squad received their SEC championship rings today during a team meeting. Former players Will Golson, Brady Feigl, and James MacArthur brought in the rings from their former teammates. Back in June, the Rebels beat LSU 9-1 to secure their third tournament title in program history. The Rebel offense had a total of 15 hits, including 4 seventh innings. The rings are custom made with each player's name. Their 2018 season record and SEC West champions on the ring. Ole Miss baseball is currently playing fall ball and will begin their regular season in February. With the bye week for the Ole Miss football team, head coach Matt Luke reflects on the biggest accomplishments of the team achieved in practice this past week.
I think the bye week came at a perfect time for us. It gave us a chance to really hone in on some little things that we needed to get better at. Also gave us a chance to get back healthy. I think we'll get C.J. Miller back. He practiced. We'll get Austin Robinson back. He practiced. So I think it was just a good week. We were able to rest Dawson Knox, able to rest Ken Webster. So really, really good week for us.
Matt Luke and the Rebels will now turn their focus on the South Carolina Gamecocks here at home when they play on Saturday at 11 a.m. Today at 4 p.m. Eastern was the deadline for the NFL trade. It was expected that a fair amount of trades would be made today, similar to last season. Today's trade results have included safety Clinton Dix to the Redskins, defensive lineman Dante Fowler Jr. to the Rams, running back and wide receiver Ty Montgomery to the Ravens, wide receiver Golden Tate to the Eagles, and wide receiver Demaryius Thomas to the Texans. Many are surprised to see that the Steelers did not trade running back Le'Veon Bell after speculation that he will walk from the team before the next season. That's all for sports, but be sure to follow our Twitter at NewsWatch_UM for all of your favorite sports updates. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Rebecca. Coming up, find out how one candy company will give you a reason to smile for Halloween.
Stay tuned to see how they're planning to turn candy treats into sweet treats.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Today may be National Candy Corn Day, but it's not always a popular treat. Reese's has come up with a way to help you exchange the undesired candy you may get while trick-or-treating. Peanut butter cups are coming to the rescue.
Starting tomorrow afternoon in New York City, a Reese's candy converter will be set up on 5th Avenue. The machine will take your unwanted candy and swap it for Reese's peanut butter cups. The company says the machine will exchange up to 10,000 cups for 5 hours. Well, you know, Halloween is almost here, and I don't really like candy corn, but hopefully no one will be passing out candy corn tomorrow while they're trick-or-treating, but maybe they'll be passing out some umbrellas? What are we thinking?
It's looking like that might be a little bit of a necessity. We do have a 100% chance of rain tomorrow. We have likely chance of thunderstorms. Good news is, though, it's going to clear up for the weekend, so at least we have that to look forward to.
Nice. Thanks, Gavin. That's all we have for tonight. Thank you for tuning in to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Lauren Conley.
Be sure to join us here again tomorrow night at 5 and on NewsWatchOleMiss.com. I'm Kassidy Biss. Thank you and good night.